I'm standing here counting coins like some desperate beggar, and honestly that's exactly what I feel like right now. My fingers tremble as I place each quarter, each dime, each penny onto the counter praying there's enough. The cashier watches me with that look. You know the one, that mixture of pity and impatience that makes your stomach twist into knots. The formula canister sits there on the counter between us, so close yet impossibly far away. Sir, it's still $2 short, she says, her voice professional but tired. $2? Just two measly dollars stand between my baby and his next meal. Sam must be getting hungry by now. He's only 3 months old. My tiny son. My entire world wrapped up in a bundle of soft blankets and innocent eyes. How am I supposed to explain to him that his father can't even afford the basics? Please, I just need this one. I whisper, my voice barely audible even to myself. Shame burns through my chest like acid. My baby needs it, but she just extends her hand again, waiting for payment I don't have. I'm sorry, sir. Rules are rules. I close my eyes against the sting of humiliation. Is this what being an Omega means? Struggling alone? Having no one to lean on when everything falls apart? I'm about to gather my pathetic pile of coins and leave when suddenly, add it to my bill. The voice comes from directly behind me. Deep, commanding, confident in a way I haven't felt in months. I turn slowly, and when I see him, my breath catches in my throat. He's standing there in a perfectly tailored black suit that probably costs more than 3 months of my rent. Dark hair styled impeccably, and his eyes, storm gray eyes, that seem to look straight through me, like they recognize something I can't quite place. His scent hits me next, cedar wood and something clean, something that screams authority and alpha and danger all rolled into one intoxicating package. I quickly drop my gaze to the floor. And no, you really don't have to, I said, add it to my bill, he repeats to the cashier, completely ignoring my protest as if helping strangers is something he does every Tuesday afternoon. There's such natural command in his voice that the cashier doesn't even question it. She scans the formula and swipes his card without hesitation. I'm standing here in shock, embarrassed beyond words, and underneath it all, a little bit scared. Who is this man? Why would a complete stranger help me? What does he want in return? My mind races through possibilities, none of them particularly comforting. When the transaction completes, he turns to face me fully. Those gray eyes study my face like he's searching for something important. Something lost. Take it, he says, holding out the formula canister. When his fingers brush against mine during the exchange, I feel it, an electric shock that seems to travel up my arm and straight to my heart. It's familiar somehow. Dangerous, definitely. I'll pay you back. I promise. I manage to say, even though I have absolutely no idea how I'll manage that. He smiles then, just slightly. But there's something sad in that smile. Something heavy with regret. You don't remember me, do you, Caleb? My name. He just said my name. How does he know my name? I look at him more carefully now. Those gray eyes. That sharp jawline. The scent that seems to curl around me like smoke. Something about him feels familiar. Like a dream I can't quite recall, but I can't place it. Can't remember. I don't. It's me, Ramon. And just like that, my entire world stops spinning. Ramon. That Ramon. The alpha who left me when I needed him most. The man who abandoned me when I was pregnant and terrified and completely alone. The one who is Sam's father. My hand tightens around the formula canister like it's the only solid thing in a world that's suddenly tilting sideways. You. My voice shakes with anger and pain and 1,000 other emotions I can't name. You left me. Ramon takes a deep breath. The guilt in his eyes is unmistakable, written across his face like a confession he's been carrying for months. I know, he says quietly, but his voice is steady. And I came back to fix everything. I want to laugh, or scream, or maybe both. Fix everything? As if it's that simple. As if he can just walk back into my life after abandoning me and our unborn child and make it all better with a few words. The cashier clears her throat awkwardly, reminding us we're standing in the middle of a grocery store having what is clearly a very personal conversation. There are other customers waiting, their carts lined up behind us, probably wondering what the drama is about. I clutch the formula tighter against my chest, using it like a shield. You can't I know I can't, Ramon interrupts gently. I know nothing I say right now will make sense or seem enough. But please, Caleb, just give me 5 minutes. Let me explain what happened. His eyes are pleading with me, and I hate that part of me, that stupid, hopeful part, wants to listen. Wants to believe that maybe there's a good reason. That maybe he didn't just throw me away like I was nothing. But I remember the nights I spent crying myself to sleep. The morning sickness I endured alone. The labor pains with no one's hand to hold. The first time Sam opened his eyes and his father wasn't there to see it. 5 minutes won't change what you did, I say, my voice harder now. No, it won't, he agrees. But it might help you understand why. People are definitely staring now. An older woman 2 lanes over is pretending to read a magazine while obviously eavesdropping. A teenage employee has paused his cart to watch our exchange. I should walk away. I should take the formula he paid for and leave and never look back. That would be the smart thing to do. The safe thing. But my feet won't move, because standing here looking at Ramon after all these months, I realize something painful. Part of me still cares. Part of me still wants answers. And that terrifies me more than anything else. Not here, I finally say. If you want to talk, not here. Relief floods his features so quickly it's almost painful to watch. Anywhere you want. Whatever makes you comfortable. I think about Sam, waiting at home with the neighbor who's watching him. I think about the tiny apartment I can barely afford. I think about how this man standing in front of me is the father of my child. Whether I like it or not. Tomorrow, I hear myself saying. 2 o'clock. The park on Maple Street. You get your 5 minutes, Ramon. That's it. He nods quickly, gratefully. Thank you. I'll be there. I turn to leave, formula in hand, my heart hammering against my ribs. I make it 3 steps before his voice stops me. Caleb, I don't turn around. What? I really am sorry. For everything. I don't respond. I just walk away, pushing through the automatic doors and out into the afternoon sunlight that suddenly feels too bright. Too harsh. My hands are shaking as I head toward the bus stop, and I realize I'm crying. Tomorrow I'll hear what he has to say. Tomorrow I'll let him give his excuses, or explanations, or whatever he thinks will make a difference. But tonight, I'm going home to my son. The son Ramon doesn't even know exists yet. And I have no idea how I'm going to tell him. The next day arrives too quickly and too slowly all at once. I've been up since dawn, feeding Sam, changing him, trying to decide what to wear, like this is some kind of date instead of a confrontation with the man who broke my heart. I settle on simple jeans and a clean sweater. Nothing special, because this isn't special. This is just closure. That's all. The neighbor, Mrs. Chen, takes Sam with her usual grandmotherly smile. She doesn't ask questions, bless her, just coos at the baby and waves me off, telling me to take my time. If only she. I arrive at the park 10 minutes early, which I immediately regret. It gives me too much time to think, to second guess, to consider running. I sit on a bench near the fountain, watching mothers push their children on swings, couples walking hand in hand, and I feel the weight of my loneliness like a physical thing. Ramon shows up exactly at 2 o'clock. Punctual, at least. He's dressed more casually today. Dark jeans, a gray sweater that matches his eyes, a leather jacket. He looks good. I hate that I noticed. Caleb, he says as he approaches, his voice soft, uncertain. You have 5 minutes. I remind him, crossing my arms defensively. Start talking. He sits down beside me, careful to leave space between us. For a moment he just stares at the fountain, gathering his thoughts. My father threatened you, he begins. And I wasn't expecting that. Not you directly, he never spoke to you. But he came to me the day after I told him about us. About how serious we were. He said if I didn't end things immediately, he'd destroy your family's business. Your father's company. Everything. I feel my breath catch. My father's small accounting firm had struggled for years before finally folding 6 months ago. I thought it was just bad luck. The economy, competition. He had the connections to do it too. Ramon continues, his jaw tight. He'd already started making calls, pulling strings. I saw the emails. He was going to ruin them, Caleb. Make sure your family lost everything. And it would have been my fault. So you left, I say flatly. You chose to protect me by abandoning me. I thought I was doing the right thing, he says, and there's genuine anguish in his voice. I was 23 years old and scared out of my mind. My father was this powerful, ruthless man, who always got what he wanted. I believed him when he said he'd destroy you. You should have told me, I snap, anger rising hot in my chest. You should have let me make that choice too. Instead, you just disappeared. No explanation. No goodbye. Nothing. I know, Ramon says quietly. You're right. I was a coward. I convinced myself I was being noble, sacrificing our relationship to keep you safe. But really, I was just too scared to stand up to him. Too scared to fight for us. I want to stay angry. I want to hold on to my rage like armor. But there's something in his voice, in the way his hands clench and unclench, that makes me pause. Why come back now? I ask. Why not just stay away? 'Cause he's dead, Ramon says simply. My father died 2 months ago. Heart attack. Sudden. And the moment I was free from his control, from his threats, I started looking for you. 2 months. He's been searching for 2 months. I don't know how to feel about that. I hired investigators, he continues. Checked every hospital, every clinic. I went back to our old neighborhood, talked to people who knew you. It took weeks to find any trace of you. You did, changed your number, disappeared completely. And I don't blame you for that. You had every reason to want to forget I existed. The fountain continues its steady flow beside us. Children laugh in the distance. The world keeps moving while mine feels suspended. When I saw you yesterday, Ramon says, turning to look at me directly, struggling to pay for formula, looking so tired and worn down, my heart shattered. Because I knew that was my fault. That you'd been struggling alone while I could have been helping. Should have been helping. You don't get to feel guilty now, I say, but my voice lacks conviction. You made your choice. I made the wrong choice, he says firmly. The worst choice of my life. And I know sorry doesn't fix anything. I know I can't undo the past. But I want to try to toe things right if you'll let me. I laugh bitterly. Make things right? How exactly do you plan to do that, Ramon? He takes a deep breath. You mentioned formula yesterday. For your baby. Here it is. The moment I've been dreading. Yes, I say carefully. For my son. How old is he? Ramon asks, and I can hear him doing the math in his head, counting backwards. 3 months, I answer, watching his face. His eyes widen. His breathing stops. 3 months, he repeats slowly. Caleb, is he yours? I finish for him. Yes. His name is Sam. And before you ask, no, I didn't keep it from you intentionally. I tried to tell you, called your number 50 times the day I found out. Went to your apartment. You were already gone. Ramon's face goes through about 17 different emotions in the span of 5 seconds. Shock, disbelief, horror, regret. And then something that looks almost like wonder. I have a son, he whispers more to himself than to me. We have a son, I have a son. I correct sharply. You haven't earned the right to claim him yet. That lands like a slap, and I see it hurt him. Good. He should hurt. You're right, he says after a moment. But I want that right. I want to be his father. I want to be there for both of you. Please, Caleb, let me meet him. Let me try to be what you both deserve. I stand up abruptly, needing space, needing air. This is too much. Everything is too much. I don't know if I can trust you. I admit, my voice breaking. You left once. What's to stop you from leaving again when things get hard? Ramon stands too, but he doesn't come closer. Nothing except my word. And I know that doesn't mean much right now. But I'm not that scared kid anymore. I've grown up, and I understand now that real strength isn't doing what's easy or what someone tells you to do. It's fighting for what matters, and you matter, Caleb. You always did. I was just too blind and too weak to see it. A tear rolls down my cheek. Then another. I wipe them away angrily. One chance. I hear myself saying, you get one chance to prove you're serious. To prove you won't run when things get complicated. Because they will get complicated, Ramon. Being a parent isn't romantic or easy. It's messy and exhausting and sometimes thankless. I know, he says. Or I don't know yet. But I want to learn. I want to try. I nod slowly, terrified I'm making a mistake, but unable to deny Sam the possibility of knowing his father. You can meet him, I finally say. But we take this slow. You don't just get to jump into our lives and play happy family. Whatever you need, Ramon agrees immediately. Whatever pace you're comfortable with. I give him my new address. Tell him he can come by tomorrow evening. As I walk away, heading back to collect Sam from Mrs. Chen, I feel the weight of what I've just agreed to settling on my shoulders. I'm either giving my son a chance to know his father, or I'm opening the door to get hurt all over again. Only time will tell which. The next evening, I clean my apartment 3 times. Not that it helps much. The place is small, the furniture second-hand, the walls marked with age. But it's home. It's what I've been bent to provide for Sam. And I'm not ashamed of that. Not really. Maybe a little. When the knock comes at exactly 6 o'clock, my stomach drops. I check Sam one more time, clean diaper, fed, content in his little bouncer seat before opening the door. Ramon stands there holding flowers. Not expensive roses or anything showy, just a simple bouquet of daisies. He also has a shopping bag from what looks like a baby store. I wasn't sure what to bring, he says awkwardly, and it's strange seeing this powerful man look so uncertain. The flowers are for you. The bag has some things for Sam, if that's okay. If not, I can take them back. It's fine, I interrupt, stepping aside to let him in. Come in. He enters carefully, looking around the apartment not with judgment but with what seems like curiosity. His eyes land on the crib in the corner, the small pile of toys, the bottles drying on the kitchen counter. It's not much, I find myself saying defensively. It's a home, Ramon says simply. You've made a home for him. That's everything. Before I can respond, Sam makes a little cooing sound from his bouncer. Ramon's entire body goes rigid. He turns slowly, and I watch as he sees his son for the first time. Sam is awake, his big eyes looking around the room with that unfocused baby gaze. He's wearing the blue onesie I bought last week, the one with little stars on it. His tiny fist has found its way to his mouth, and he's gumming it contentedly. Ramon doesn't move. He just stares, and I can see his chest rising and falling rapidly like he's forgotten how to breathe properly. That's him? He whispers. That's Sam? That's your son. I confirm softly. Ramon sets down the flowers and bag with shaking hands. Is it okay if you can go to him, I say. Just wash your hands first. Sink's over there. He moves like he's in a trance, washing his hands thoroughly before approaching the bouncer. He kneels down beside it, getting to Sam's level, and just watches, studying every tiny detail like he's trying to memorize them all. He has your nose, Ramon says, his voice thick with emotion. And your mouth. But I think those are my eyes. They are, I confirm, standing a few feet back, giving them space but watching carefully. The gray came in about a month ago. Sam turns his head toward Ramon's voice, making more soft sounds. His little hand reaches out, and Ramon, very carefully, extends his finger. Sam's tiny fingers wrap around it instinctively, and I watch Ramon completely fall apart. Tears stream down his face unchecked. His shoulders shake. This powerful alpha, this CEO, this man who probably commands boardrooms and makes million-dollar decisions, is crying over his baby son's grip on his finger. Hi Sam, he manages to say through his tears. I'm sorry I wasn't here before. I'm so sorry I missed so much. But I'm here now. And I promise I'm going to do better. Be better. For you and your dad. Something in my chest cracks open at those words. At the raw sincerity in them. At the way he's looking at our son like he's the most precious thing in the entire world. Would you like to hold him? I hear myself offer. Ramon's head snaps up. Really? Are you sure? You're his father. I say, and saying it out loud makes it more real somehow. You should hold him. I show him how to support Sam's head, how to keep one hand under his bottom. Ramon is nervous, I can tell, but gentle, so gentle. When Sam settles into his arms, making a content little sigh, Ramon's face transforms into something I've never seen before. Pure love, instant and overwhelming. He's perfect, Ramon breathes. Caleb, he's absolutely perfect. He is. I agree, sitting down on the couch beside them. He's a good baby, sleeps in 3-hour stretches, hardly fusses unless he's hungry or needs changing. Ramon can't take his eyes off Sam. What else? Tell me everything. What does he like? What makes him happy? Does he have a favorite toy? And so I tell him about how Sam loves the black and white contrast cards I bought. How he gets fussy around 7 every evening for no reason the pediatrician can explain. How he's just started trying to track objects with his eyes. How his laugh, when we can coax it out, is the most beautiful sound in the world. Ramon listens to every word like I'm revealing the secrets of the universe. He asks questions, takes mental notes, promises to remember everything. I bought some things, he says eventually, nodding toward the bag. I didn't know what you needed, so I just got stuff. There's diapers, some bottles, formula, few outfits, some developmental toys the store clerk recommended. If it's not right or you don't need it, thank you, I interrupt him. That's really thoughtful. We sit in comfortable silence for a while, just watching Sam. The baby starts to get drowsy in Ramon's arms, his eyes doing that heavy-lidded thing babies do before they crash. Can I ask you something? Ramon says quietly. Okay, when you found out you were pregnant, how did you feel? I consider the question carefully. Terrified at first. I was alone, broke, had no idea how I'd manage. But then I felt Sam move for the first time and everything changed. Suddenly I had a purpose, a reason to keep going even when things got hard. I should have been there, Ramon says, guilt heavy in his voice. Yes, you should have. I agree, because there's no point in pretending otherwise. But you weren't. And I survived. We survived. You did more than survive, Ramon says, looking around the apartment again. You created a life for him, kept him safe and healthy and loved. You did that all on your own. And that's incredible, Caleb. The praise makes me uncomfortable. I did what any parent would do. No, Ramon insists. What you did was extraordinary. And I'm sorry I left you to do it alone. I'm sorry for so many things. Sam has fallen fully asleep now, his little mouth slightly open, completely trusting and peaceful in his father's arms. It's a sight that makes my heart ache in ways I didn't expect. What happens now? I ask quietly. That's up to you, Ramon says. I want to be in his life, in both of your lives, if you'll have me. But I understand if you need time, if you need to set boundaries. I'll respect whatever you decide. I watch him with our son and I see genuine commitment there. But I've been burned before. We start slow, I decide. You can visit, spend time with Sam, help with feedings and changes if you want. But you don't just move in or take over. You earn your place here. I will, Ramon promises. However long it takes. Sam shifts slightly in his sleep and Ramon adjusts his hold automatically. Like he's already learning. Like he's already becoming what Sam needs. Maybe this won't be a disaster. Maybe Ramon really has changed. Maybe, just maybe, we can figure out how to be a family. But I'm not ready to believe in happy endings yet. I've learned the hard way that promises are easy to make and hard to keep. Still, as I watch Ramon gently rock our sleeping son, I feel something I haven't felt in a long time. Hope. Small and fragile and terrifying, but hope nonetheless. Over the next few weeks, a rhythm develops between us that feels almost natural. Ramon arrives every morning before heading to his office, spending 30 minutes with Sam, changing him, talking to him in that soft voice that makes my chest ache. Then he returns in the evenings, sometimes staying until Sam's bedtime, other times lingering longer if our son is particularly fussy. Watching him learn to be a father is something I never expected to witness. The first time he attempted a diaper change, he put it on backwards, and we both laughed until tears streamed down our faces. He's gotten better since then, more confident in his movements, more assured in the way he holds our son. Tonight, after finally getting Sam to sleep, we settle into the living room. I'm making coffee while Ramon sits on the couch, scrolling through the photos on my phone that I've hesitantly shared with him, months of Sam's life he missed, captured in pixels and memory. You look different, I find myself saying, studying his profile in the lamplight. He sets the phone down, offering me a weary but genuine smile. Different how? Lighter, maybe, I say, handing him a mug. Like you're not carrying the same weight you were before. Ramon considers this, wrapping his hands around the warm ceramic. Leaving you was the heaviest thing I ever carried. Every day after felt hollow. I had everything, money, success, influence, but none it filled the void where you should have been. I settle into the opposite end of the couch, maintaining distance even as something in me wants to move closer. Why wait until your father died? Why not fight back while he was alive? Because I was weak, Ramon admits, and there's no self-pity in his voice, just honest acknowledgement. I told myself I was protecting you, but really I was protecting myself from to stand up to him. He had this way of making you believe resistance was futile. He sounds terrifying. He was, Ramon says quietly, but he's gone now, And the moment I was free, I hired 3 different investigation firms. I checked every hospital birth record in the state. I went back our old building, questioned the landlord, tracked down your former coworkers. It took 7 weeks to find a single lead. My throat tightens. 7 weeks of searching, every single day, he confirms, leaning forward. I barely slept. My assistant thought I was having a breakdown. Maybe I was, but I couldn't stop until I found you. And when you saw me at the store, I asked, remembering that moment. My humiliation, his sudden appearance. My heart stopped. Ramon says simply, "You looked exhausted, worn thin," and I knew immediately that I'd caused that. Every struggle you'd faced, every sleepless night, every moment of fear that was on me. I wanted to fall to my knees right there and beg your forgiveness. The vulnerability in his voice cracks something open inside me. "You've really changed, haven't you?" "I hope so," he says. "The man who left you was a coward. I'm trying to be someone worthy of you now." Of Sam. Before I can respond, Sam makes a small cry from the nursery. Not his hungry cry or his uncomfortable cry, just a whimper that says he wants comfort. Ramon is on his feet before I can move. "I'll get him," he offers. I watch through the doorway as Ramon lifts our son, cradling him against his chest and swaying gently. He hums something low and melodic. And Sam settles immediately, his tiny fist curling into Ramon's shirt. "You're getting good at this," I observe from the doorway. Ramon glances at me, and there's such tenderness in his expression that it steals my breath. He makes it easy. "You both do." "It's not always easy," I warn him. "There will be sick days and sleepless nights and moments when nothing works and everyone's crying. Then we'll cry together," Ramon says. "And figure it out together. If you'll let me." The word "together" hangs in the air between us, heavy with possibility and promise. I want to believe in it. God, I want to believe in it so badly. "I'm scared," I whisper. Ramon crosses the small space between us, Sam still secure in his arms. "Of what specifically?" "Of this being temporary. Of you realizing that real life with a baby isn't romantic or exciting. Of waking up one day and finding you've decided it's too hard." "Look at me," Ramon says softly. I raise my eyes to his. "I'm not going anywhere," he states with absolute conviction. "Not when things get difficult. Not when Sam is screaming at 3 in the morning. Not when the diapers overflow or the formula runs out, or you're too exhausted to speak. I'm here, Caleb, for all of it." A tear escapes down my cheek. Ramon shifts Sam to one arm and reaches out with his free hand, catching the tear with his thumb. "Give me a real chance," he pleads. "Not just for Sam's sake, for us. For what we could have together." My defenses, carefully constructed over months of survival, begin to crumble. "Okay," I breathe. "Okay, we can try." The smile that breaks across Ramon's face is brilliant and unburdened, and when he pulls me into a careful embrace, Sam nestled between us, I let myself lean into his warmth. Let myself imagine that maybe, just maybe, we could be a family. His scent wraps around me, cedarwood and something uniquely him, and for the first time in months, I feel safe. "Thank you for trusting me," Ramon murmurs against my hair. I don't tell him that trust isn't the right word yet. That I'm still protecting my heart. Still waiting for the other shoe to drop. But I'm willing to try. And for now, that feels like enough. Sam makes a content sound between us, apparently approving of this new arrangement. And we both laugh softly. He likes having us both here. "Smart kid," Ramon says, pressing a kiss to Sam's downy head. "He knows what's good for him." We stand there together in the dim light of my small apartment, the 3 of us forming a circle of warmth and possibility. Outside, the world continues its chaos, but in here we've created something fragile and precious, something worth protecting. As Ramon eventually settles back on the couch with Sam, and I curl up beside them, I think that maybe this is what healing looks like. Not forgetting the past or pretending it didn't hurt, but choosing to build something new despite the scars. "Stay tonight," I find myself saying, on the couch. Sam sometimes wakes up around midnight, and it would be easier with 2 of us. Ramon's eyes widen slightly. "Are you sure?" "I'm sure," I confirm, and I am. Not because I've forgotten what he did, but because I can see who he's becoming. Who he's choosing to be. "I'd like that," Ramon says quietly. "I'd like that very much." And as we settle into the evening, taking turns soothing Sam, sharing stories and comfortable silences, I feel something I haven't felt in a long time beginning to take root in my chest. Hope. Not the desperate, fragile kind I've been clinging to, but something stronger. Something that whispers that maybe broken things can be mended. Maybe people can change. Maybe we deserve a second chance at happiness. I don't know what tomorrow will bring. But tonight we're together, and that's a start. 3 weeks pass in a blur of domesticity that feels both foreign and right. Ramon has seamlessly integrated himself into our daily routine, bringing groceries when I mention running low, picking up diapers without being asked, even tackling the leaky faucet in the bathroom that I'd been ignoring for months. He's also been quietly helping with bills, though he's careful about how he does it. Money appears in my account with simple notes, for Sam's needs or just helping out. I stopped protesting after the first week when I realized my pride was less important than ensuring our son had everything he needed. But it's more than the practical support. Ramon has been looking at apartments for us, bigger places in safer neighborhoods, with good schools nearby. He shows me listings on his phone, always asking my opinion, never pushing. It's sweet, terrifying, real. This particular Tuesday afternoon, I'm folding laundry while Sam naps when someone knocks on the door. Sharp, insistent raps that make me frown. Ramon has his own key now, and Mrs. Chen always calls before visiting. I open the door expecting a delivery person, but instead find a woman standing in the hallway. She's tall, elegant in a way that speaks of money and privilege, wearing a designer dress that probably costs more than my monthly rent. Her perfume, expensive and overwhelming, reaches me before she speaks. "You must be Caleb," she says with a smile that doesn't reach her cold eyes. "Yes?" I respond cautiously. "Can I help you?" "I'm Vivian Reed," she announces, extending a manicured hand that I don't take. "Ramon's fiancé." The word hits me like a physical blow. Fiancé? No. That's impossible. "I'm sorry, what?" I managed to ask, my voice strangled. "Oh dear," Vivian says, her tone dripping with false sympathy. "He hasn't told you? We've been engaged for 6 months. The wedding is scheduled for 2 weeks from this Saturday. I'm actually here to collect some of his belongings. He's been so scattered lately, my mind reels. 6 months? Wedding? This has to be a lie. It has to." "You're lying," I state, even as my hands begin to shake. Vivian raises her left hand, and there it is, a massive diamond ring catching the hallway light. Undeniably real, undeniably expensive. "Does this look like a lie, sweetheart?" she asks condescendingly. The floor feels unstable beneath my feet. Ramon engaged? Getting married in 2 weeks? While he's been here playing house with Sam and me, promising us a future? Where is he? I demand, trying to keep my voice steady. "At the office, naturally," Vivian replies, examining her nails. "Running a multi-billion-dollar empire keeps him quite occupied, though I suppose he's been finding time for other activities." Her gaze sweeps over my modest apartment with obvious disdain. How quaint. Rage burns through my shock. "Get out of my home." "Of course," she agrees smoothly, turning to leave. But at the threshold, she pauses. "A word of advice, Caleb. Ramon collects strays. It's one of his less admirable qualities. But he always comes back to where he belongs. That baby you're raising, just an inconvenient reminder of a momentary lapse in judgment. And you're a charity project. Nothing more. He'll tire of playing savior soon enough." She clicks away on her designer heels, leaving me standing in the doorway, her words echoing in my head like poison. I slam the door and immediately grab my phone, dialing Ramon's number with shaking fingers. It rings, and rings, and goes to voicemail. I try again. Same results. Frustrated and terrified, I send a text. "Vivian was just here. We need to talk, now." I pace the apartment, Sam sleeping peacefully in his crib, unaware that our fragile new world might be crumbling. 1 hour passes, then 2. No response. When the knock finally comes 3 hours later, I wrench the door open. Ramon stands there, briefcase in hand, concern etched across his face. "I'm so sorry I'm late. Board meeting ran over and my phone was off. Your message said Vivian was here? What did she—" "Your fiancé." I interrupt, my voice glacial despite the tears threatening to fall. "Your fiancé came to my home today." Ramon's face drains of color. "Caleb, wait. You're getting married in 2 weeks," I continue, each word deliberate. 6 months engaged, apparently. "And you didn't think that was information I deserved to have." After everything you said, after all your promises about no more secrets, it's not what it looks like. Ramon insists desperately. That engagement was arranged by my father before he died. It's a business merger, nothing more. I've been working with lawyers to dissolve it properly. When? I shout, losing control. When exactly were you planning to tell me about your impending wedding, Ramon? Sam wakes at my raised voice, immediately crying. I scoop him up, holding him against my chest like a shield. I was handling it quietly to avoid scandal. Ramon tries to explain. The contracts are complicated and I didn't want to worry you until everything was finalized. Don't. I cut him off. Don't you dare make this about protecting me. You lied. By omission maybe, but you lied. Caleb, please, get out. I say quietly, all the fight draining from me. Just go. Don't do this, Ramon pleads, taking a step forward. Don't shut me out. We can work through this. I said get out. The words tear from my throat and Sam cries harder. Ramon stops, his expression devastated. For a moment I think he might refuse, might push back. But then he nods slowly, defeat written across every line of his body. I'll fix this, he promises hoarsely. I'll make this right, Caleb. I swear, but I've already turned away, soothing Sam, blocking out Ramon's presence. I hear the door close softly behind him and then silence. I sink to the floor, my back against the wall. Sam clutched to my chest as tears finally fall. How could I have been so stupid? How could I have let myself believe in fairy tales and second chances? Vivian was right. I'm just a temporary distraction. A phase Ramon was going through while his real life waited in the wings. And Sam, God, Sam deserves so much better than this mess. I cry until I have no tears left. Until Sam has fallen back asleep against my shoulder. Until the apartment grows dark around us. Alone again, just like before. Maybe this was always how it was going to end. 3 days pass like 3 years. 72 hours of silence from me and relentless attempts at communication from Ramon. He comes to the door every morning. Sometimes he knocks softly, calling my name through the wood. Sometimes he just stands there, I can see his shadow under the door frame. Sense his presence on the other side. He sends texts, leaves voicemails that I delete without listening. Has flowers delivered that I give to Mrs. Chen. Sam misses him. I can tell by the way my son's eyes track toward the door during Ramon's usual visiting hours. By the way he fusses more at bedtime when there's no deep voice humming lullabies. It breaks my heart, but I don't know what else to do. On the 4th morning, I'm feeding Sam his bottle when the knocking starts again. But this time it's different. Urgent, desperate, continuous. I hesitate, then carefully set Sam and his bouncer before approaching the door. When I open it, I barely recognize the man standing there. Ramon looks wrecked. His expensive suit is rumpled, his tie hanging loose, his hair disheveled like he's been running his hands through it compulsively. His eyes are bloodshot, ringed with fair circles that speak of sleepless nights. I ended it, he blurts out before I can speak. The engagement, it's done. Over. Completely finished. I freeze, my hand still on the doorknob. What? I went to Vivian yesterday. Ramon continues, words tumbling out rapidly. Told her everything about you. About Sam, about how I'm in love with you and building a life with the family. I don't care about her father's business connections. I don't care that my company's stock dropped 4 points this morning when the news broke. I don't care about any of it except you and Sam. My heart pounds so hard I can feel it in my throat. You actually broke off the engagement? I should have done it the second I found you at that grocery store. Ramon says, stepping closer. I should have been honest immediately. I was trying to handle it discreetly, legally, without causing a media circus. But I should have just told you the truth and dealt with the consequences. I'm sorry, Caleb. I'm so incredibly sorry. Tears blur my vision. Relief wars with lingering hurt. How do I know this isn't temporary? That the next obstacle won't send you running again? Ramon reaches for my hands, gripping them firmly. Because I'm choosing you. Actively, deliberately choosing you over everything else. Not my father's legacy. Not business deals. Not public image. You and Sam are my priority. My only priority. I search his gray eyes for any hint of deception. Any shadow of doubt. All I find is raw, desperate sincerity. Say something, Ramon whispers. Please. Even if it's telling me to leave. Just talk to me. I'm terrified. I admit. My voice breaking. of believing you again, of letting you back in and having you disappear when the next crisis hits. I understand, Ramon says, and I know words aren't enough. But let me prove it with actions. Let me show you every single day that I'm here to stay. That nothing, not nuts, pressure, not family expectations, not public scandal, nothing will make me leave you again. Behind me, Sam makes a cooing sound, as if adding his opinion to the conversation. Ramon's eyes flick past me to our son, and his expression softens with such love that it physically hurts to witness. I missed him, Ramon says quietly. 3 days felt like an eternity. He missed you too, I confess. Kept looking at the door during your usual times. Wouldn't settle at night. Can I see him? Ramon asks tentatively. Please. I step back, allowing him entry. Ramon moves immediately to Sam, kneeling beside the bouncer and running a gentle finger down our son's cheek. Sam's face lights up, arms waving excitedly, and Ramon makes a choked sound. Hey little man, Ramon murmurs. I'm sorry I was gone. That won't happen again. I promise. Watching them together, I feel my carefully constructed walls beginning to crumble. This is what Sam deserves. A father who shows up, who fights for him, who chooses him. I need complete honesty from now on. I say firmly. No more protecting me from difficult information. No more handling things quietly behind my scenes. We're partners or we're nothing. Partners. Ramon agrees immediately, standing with Sam in his arms. Complete transparency. I'll tell you everything, even when it's uncomfortable or complicated. I move closer, close enough to feel his warmth, to catch his familiar scent. And if we do this, really do this, you need to understand what you're signing up for. Late-night feedings and dirty diapers and exhaustion. Financial stress and parenting disagreements. And mundane, unglamorous reality. That's all I want, Ramon says, and I believe him. The mundane. The messy. The real. With you. Sam reaches for me and I take him from Ramon, the three of us standing close together in my small living room. It feels significant somehow, like we're on the precipice of something important. Move in with me, Ramon says suddenly. Both of you. I have a house, plenty of space, safe neighborhood, good schools nearby. Let me take care of you properly. The way I should have been from the beginning. It's too fast. Too much. Too soon. But when I look at Sam, at his innocent face and his future spread out before him, I know the answer. No more secrets? I verify. No more secrets, Ramon swears. Ever. And if things get hard, when they get hard, you don't run. I stay and fight. Ramon promises. For us. For this family. I take a shaky breath. Then yes. We'll move in with you. The smile that breaks across Ramon's face is pure joy. He pulls me into an embrace, careful of Sam between us, and I let myself lean into him. Let myself hope. We're going to make this work, Ramon whispers against my hair. I swear on everything I am. We better, I reply. But I'm smiling too. Because if you break my heart again, You won't have to finish that threat, Ramon interrupts. Because it's not going to happen. You're stuck with me now. Sam makes a happy gurgling sound, as if approving of this entire conversation. We both laugh. The sound light and genuine and full of possibility. This isn't a fairy tale ending. It's messy and complicated, built on broken trust that we're carefully rebuilding. But as we stand together, me, Ramon, and Sam, I feel something settle in my chest. Peace. Cautious, fragile, but real. We're not perfect. We have work to do, trust to rebuild, a future to navigate. But we're together. And this time, I believe we'll stay that way. This time, we're choosing each other. Actively. Deliberately. Completely. And that makes all the difference.